Okay, I think we can start. It's already 4:05. So good morning, afternoon, and evening, everyone. My name is Lamia Jouini, and I am the ECP section chair. It's a real pleasure to welcome you to our second town hall meeting of the WPA Early Career Psychiatrists section. This meeting is very important for us. It's not just an update, but it's a moment of transition and co-construction. And today we want to share where we are, what we have built together, and most importantly, where we are going next. And we really see this as a two-way conversation. So this is not just a presentation. We are waiting for your feedback, your questions, your inputs as well. Next. So let me briefly walk you through today's agenda. We'll cover three main parts: our action plan, which I will briefly introduce, a snapshot of what we've achieved so far by Alex, our section co-chair, and finally, the new terms of reference, which be co-presented mainly by Dr. Rick Walthusen, but also Dr. Sharad Philip. I hope he will be able to join, and who is our project and capacity building coordinator. And last but not least, Dr. Hind Jumli, our digital content lead and storytelling strategist. Of course, we'll leave space at the end for discussion because your input, again, is essential. Next. So our action plan is really the backbone of everything we do. Our overarching goal, as you can see, is to position the ECP section as a globally recognized, inclusive, and innovative platform. But beyond the wording, what this really means is that we want to empower early career psychiatrists. We want to create opportunity for them to thrive and to evolve on the professional side. And we want to build a sustainable global community. And of course, all of this is guided by very strong principles, mainly inclusivity, transparency, equity, and innovation, and many other principles that you can see on our screen. So the plan is divided into objectives, and each objective is divided into key actions, and each key actions will be divided into different tasks. Next. And here you can see the 7 main objectives of our action plan. So green is for what have been already fully achieved, and blue is for things that are already there, but we would like to develop them more. I won't go into every detail, but let me highlight a few key directions. So some of the main actions are to strengthen visibility and communications, improving membership engagement and access, reinforcing governance and accountability, expanding partnerships and collaborations, and importantly, investing in capacity building and networking. And this is not just a plan, actually, it's really a roadmap for impact. Next. Thank you. So this slide gives a snapshot of who we are today. We have now over 500 members globally across different categories. What's important here is not just the number, but I think the diversity. We have early career psychiatrists, alumni, special members alike. And I would say that although alumni and allies do not really comply to an ECP definition, we still believe they should be part of the community as they have also an impact and a role to play with and for ECPs. And this reflects a shift toward a more open and more than a section, a community that is more like a horizontal approach across the whole WPA sections and groups. And I would now open the floor for Alex to talk about the activities report.
Thank you, Lamia. I'm going to mention some of the activities we've made since we started our mandate last year. So in April and May, we established the new committee. We are 8 committee members, as it is allowed by the WPA bylaws. And we've defined the role of each of the committee members as the officers and also the coordinators. I'm going to talk a little bit more later. we started to develop the action plan that let me just present it. And we launched a membership restructuring and application system. Now we have a very straightforward Google form for application. So everyone can apply through that independently of being an current ECP, alumni, or ally. Also, we created new social media platforms. We already had the X account and the Facebook account, but we started new accounts on Instagram and LinkedIn to be closer to ECPs. And we started some collaborations with other WPA sections and other institutions. So one of the first ones was the Digital Mental Health section, Education and Publication Committee, and the Medical Students Group. We created the WhatsApp community and opportunities repository, so communication is easier now for all ECPs. And we defined that the previously existing newsletter would be trimestrally launched. In June and July, we launched a global AI survey in psychiatry, and we planned and delivered our first webinar on AI and ethics in mental health in partnership with the Digital Mental Health section. And we started developing an ECP track for the WPA Regional Congress in Ecuador, which was the first experience. We planned alongside Andres, who's not here, but was in the last town hall, a whole program for ECPs inside the Congress. We had a room just for us, and this is an experience we would like to repeat more times. And we initiated the 10th year anniversary project. Last year was the 10th year of our section. We started implementing social media strategy and posting protocols for our new social media profiles. And we started and we continued actually disseminating research opportunities and some WPA initiatives. In August and September of last year, we launched the 10th year anniversary video project, which was an invitation for current and previous ECPs to share in video a little of their experience with the section, which was then compiled and presented at WCP. We organized our internal archive system. We prepared coordination for ECP participation at WCP as chair of the sessions and also presenters. We opened the World Psychiatry Exchange Program application for host institutions. We disseminated a global education survey, and we were able to publish our first trimestral newsletter. And we created a social media subcommittee, and which later became the social media team. And we developed the ECP welcome package for any ECP who just joined us to understand everything that's going on. In October and November were very intense months because we had our participation in the World Congress in Prague, and we hosted competitions, sessions, also participated in mentorship, and Lamia participated in the presidential panel. We had also a strong focus on networking and community engagement. We tried to reach every ECP in the Congress, and we also had social media, a social program. We implemented an event evaluation mechanism through feedback forms for a continuous improvement of our activities. And we started the terms of reference revision processes, which we're presenting today. Also, we prepared the annual report, and there was the regional congress in Quito, took place in November of last year. We had many ECP-led sessions, huge regional engagement, and networking events for students and trainees. It really worked. The ECP track, one of the most attended ones, even by not necessarily ECP but senior, because the program was really, really great. December, we promoted some key opportunities as the ECP exchange program, the WPA. We opened for people to register, and we started preparing submissions for this year's Congress. We started collaborating with ISM Next about the addiction reflection series. Also continued on the social media growth and engagement, thanks to Hind. We started planning the 2026 webinar series and strengthening of member communication and visibility. January of this year, we promoted the exchange program. We helped mentor, and we supported many WCP submissions and the development of the annual report and action plan materials. We strengthened collaboration with students and alumni, and also the social media engagement keep expanding. In February, we made huge progress in our terms of reference revision, and we launched our second trimester newsletter. We submitted and supported submission of 20 ECPs symposia. 12 were ECP-led and 8 were co-hosted by other sections. We implemented the welcome package, and we increased engagement in regional WhatsApp communities. And finally, last month, we finalized the TOR revision, and we had our first presentation. This is the second one. And we also participated in the WPA intergenerational meeting with the primary care section. We launched the virtual journal club, which is a multi-section collaboration. We planned the difficult cases online session with ISA Next. We expanded the ECP's involvement in WPA activities. We are really advocating for that with the EC committee. We started an ongoing data analysis and strengthened the internal governance and meeting. And we plan to participate, but it didn't really work in the 18th Geneva Conference on Person-Centered Medicine, but we are starting collaboration with them.
All right. Take over from here. Good morning also from my side. I'm based in Boston, but also good afternoon and good evening to our members from other parts of the world. You know, with all these changes and all these actions that you just heard, we looked back at our terms of reference and we just felt that we need to expand it extensively. And mostly because we realized that while it is 8 of us representing you in the section as committee, really we want to expand leadership as much as we can. And we really want to have, as many people from as many regions and countries as possible contributing to the section activities. And so, next slide, please, Alex. The section was actually founded in 2015. So that was when the first terms of reference came out. Then it was amended 2 years later. If you look at it, it's very governance focused and has minimal structure on some of the issues that are important to us. And at that time, it served the section well. But then once again, we felt that it was about time to expand the terms of references so that we not only look into governance issues, but also look into how to operationalize the diversification of the section, how we can increase the engagement, and how we can really include as many people as possible. Next slide, please. So I'm going to highlight a few key structural changes, first of all, before I'm going to talk about positions that will be available for application coming up soon. So first of all, we really rethought our membership model. So to give you a little bit of background, the World Psychiatric Association, most of the work happens in sections. And each of the sections can manage their members based on the WPA bylaws. And one of the criteria is that you fulfill the section criteria, which in our case is you are an early career psychiatrist. And by the definition, that means you're either currently in psychiatric training or up to 7 years after graduation. Additionally, you do need to be a member of a recognized, WPA-recognized national psychiatric organizations. That left us a bit baffled because a lot of our members around the world do not have access, for example, to a national psychiatric organization. That is either because in their home country where they work, there is no recognized national psychiatric organization, or this is because the membership dues are just too high for trainees to join the National Psychiatric Association, or this is because some countries even prevent trainees and early career psychiatrists to join national psychiatric organizations. And yet we felt that there is a place for members like these, those in our section. And so we did add, apart from the current membership category, which basically means that you are an ECP and you are a member of a national psychiatric organization, we also added another category, which is like special ECPs. Not just because they have a special place in our hearts and we want to include them, but really what makes them special is the only fact that they are currently not a member of a national psychiatric organization. We also have alumni because we really want to engage more with alumni going forward and really, utilize their strength and their interest in like mentoring, for example, early career psychiatrists. And we also have a new ally definition, which is medical students, psychologists, everyone who feels close and strong, to the section's mission. The only difference, I should say, between current members, for example, and special members is that special members currently cannot vote. Again, that goes back to the WPA bylaws. But apart from voting and running for elections, they can do exactly the same, get exactly the same opportunities. And so we are really happy to have diversified our membership. This is one of the key structural changes. Apart from that, we also rethought the definition of ECP, particularly for psychiatrists that are migrating. I think even in the group chat here, I'm seeing right now, and we actually heard from a member right at the beginning, right, that people at some point in their life may decide to go to a new country. Sometimes if you go to a new country, you can just work with the credentials that you have. And sometimes you just have to redo your training. And if you redo your training, it really puts you in a position of an early career psychiatrist oftentimes, right? And you can start to see how ECP is not about an age, but ECP is more about a mindset, but also really about structural factors, right? Such as income, such as where in the hierarchy are you, right? And so we really expanded the definition of ECPs, not only to current trainees that are doing their first training, but also to people who are migrating to different countries and have to redo their training. But also we expanded it to subspecialty training, right? Because oftentimes people would do their general psychiatry training and then they would end up as child psychiatrist, addiction psychiatrist, forensic psychiatrist, or such subspecialties, and we felt it is important to include these people. We also have a case-by-case flexibility when it comes to membership. Lastly, we felt it is really important for the elections to have an election committee to really professionalize the elections, because I think the trust in the section given by you to the section committee is important. It's a democratic process, and we felt we have to strengthen the democratic process to make sure that everyone can run who wants to run and feel supported. But also, what we have included now is an observer transition period, which basically means that the elections, for the next cycle, will be quite early, and you will actually work. The new elected members will actually work with the current committee, hand in hand for a few months to create a smooth transition. What's also important for us is the regional representation criteria, because again, we don't want the power to be and the votes and the voices to come from only a few regions, but we really want to diversify representation. Next slide, please. So with the new government structure, we remain 8 section committee members and officers. That is just by default what the WPA allows for each section. There can only be 8 members leading. And I will talk about some of these roles in just a second. But also what we propose is, within the committee, the 3 section officers, which is the chair, Lamia, the co-chair, Alex, and the secretary, myself, we want, it's not mandated or enforceable under the WPA 2023 bylaws, but we do think it is important to not stay in power for too long or in the position for too long, just because, again, we want to give other people an opportunity to serve and to be elected. And so while we cannot mandate it or not enforce it, we highly do recommend that section officers, the chair, the co-chair, and the secretary, will only serve on the ECP section board for only one triennium, which is like 3 years. That means we could be regular section members or committee members, but the leadership of the section should change every 3 years. Next slide, please. Here's just an overview of the current section committee members representing you. So we have Alex, who is representing Latin America. We have Lamia, who is representing Northern Africa and the Middle East. We have Fatma, who is representing Western Europe, Sarah, who is representing Eastern Europe, Sharat, who is representing Asia, Tejil and Swether, who are representing Sub-Saharan Africa, and Catherine, who is representing Australasia. I do want to highlight one thing. Next slide, please. Which is, actually, we can go one more slide, please. Which is, that we are, and this is the first position we are going to advertise going forward, where people can apply. We are going to expand the 8 members to 18 members, right? And what I mean by that is the following. The WPA has 18 different zones, right? As you can see here on the slides. These are the zones, the definitions that the WPA is using. But then again, remember what I just said about that the section can only have 8 members. And so we felt that there is a mismatch between what the WPA can do on a bigger level and what the section can do. So we will have to keep with the 8 section committee members because that is just, what is defined by the bylaws. But we will appoint positions that are called ZALOs, Zonal Assistant Liaison Officers. And so basically we will have 18 people representing, each of them will represent one zone, and then they will work hand in hand with the respective committee member representing the zone overall. So to just give you an example of what I mean is in my zone, I'm representing North America, which is Canada and the United States, right? There will actually be 2 ECPs that will be working with me hand in hand on representing Canada and the United States. One from Canada and one from the United States, and then they will just work with me together on the representation. Also, I do want to highlight that until the new terms of references, Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean were a part of the North American mandate. After consultation within our board, the section committee, and also membership societies in the respective region, we actually shifted Zone 3, Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean, to Latin America, just because that made more sense from a language perspective, cultural perspective, practicing perspective. And so Alex is currently representing, or now representing, Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean. Next slide, please. Apart from the ZALOs positions that we will have people apply for, we will also have project coordinators that people can apply for. Project coordination is in the docket of our committee member, Sharat, who is leading a number of different projects. Among those are the World Psychiatric Exchange Program, which we are just going to mention in a few slides, but also these are things like, difficult case discussions. Difficult cases are a format that we use at each year's conference, and they're actually quite well attended. So last year, for example, in Prague, we had a difficult case discussion around child and adolescent psychiatry and one around catatonia. And we actually want to continue having these difficult case discussions going forward. So at the moment, we have appointed one ECP after an application process, Dr. Mario Valiente from Mexico, to basically run the difficult case discussion. He is the one in charge of recruiting participants, advertising the event, and he's doing it under the guidance of the board and Dr. Sharat. But there will be more opportunities and more projects to work on, more training programs for the exchange program. There will be opportunities, and so we will open applications for positions in the realm of project coordination under Dr. Sharad. I don't know, Sharad, is he here at the moment?
No, not now.
No. So
No.
maybe we can just move one slide, please. And I can just briefly mention a word about the World Psychiatric Exchange Program, which is one of many of our flagship programs. This year, it's in its 5th edition in 2026. I'm one of the national coordinators of the program at McLean Hospital in Boston. We have hosted participants last year. We are hosting participants this year. Here you can just see an overview of hosting institutions in the 2026 edition. We have a total of 8 countries. We have 9 host locations across these 8 countries, and we had 47 applicants. What's really outstanding, what Sharad did in a really outstanding way this year, is that he was able to match 100% of the applicants with host institutions. That is really, again, a testimony to how important it is for us to increase representation and to increase, the work with the host institutions and the applicants. And we are currently in the final stretches of finalizing the placements, and most of them have already been announced. And I also understand that, Sharad is working on actually promoting the expansion of the program for next year. So if you're on the call and you feel like your institution is actually able to host early career psychiatrists, please reach out to us, and we will send out an institutional call later this year around July 1st. And what it really means to host someone is totally up to you and your host institution. It can be research focused, it can be clinically focused, it can be education focused. So that can be discussed. But we really, as you can see on the map, we have host institutions as of now in North America, in Europe, in Sub-Saharan Africa, even in Northern Africa, Asia, but no host institution in Latin America as of now, no host institution in Australasia. And so even on those continents where we do have host institutions, such as in the US, we only have 1. So if you feel like your host institutions can host some early career psychiatrists, please reach out to us, because again, we want to diversify opportunities. Next slide, please. What I just say here briefly is, I give you another example of if you were to apply as a project coordinator, what could your task be under Sharad? With the World Psychiatric Exchange Program, you obviously have the matching process, reaching out to host institution, making sure they're ready, making sure we understand exactly what they can offer in terms of accommodation, in terms of foods, in terms of internet, in terms of educational program. Also reaching out to the applicants, right? Working with the applicants on the application, answering questions. Then there is a matching process. Then people actually go and do the exchange and they come back. So we want feedback from the host institutions and the participants. Then we will need to look at the feedback to improve the program and feedback the feedback to make sure next year's edition takes this feedback. And so that could be a role that we are actually opening for applications, right? As a project coordinator, as part of the World Psychiatric Exchange Program, under guidance of Dr. Sharad. Next slide, please. We can go, one more slide, please. The other role that we will open is, to work with the liaison support officer, which is Fatma. Basically, the idea is that our section, as Lami and Alex were saying, have a lot of intersection activities, but we also have activities within the WPA, with the executive board, with work groups, with task force, but also with external partners such as the WHO or universities and other national psychiatric organizations. So if you're interested and you're good with connecting and networking, and you want to be a part of that, we will open applications for roles under the leadership of Dr. Fatma as a liaison support coordinator. Next slide, please. Other roles that we will open are under Sarah's docket, which is research and mentoring. So it's really the idea that, as a section, as a scientific section, we really value the research and publication aspect, and that includes all sorts of like research-related activities, including survey design, right? Alex mentioned that we actually do have surveys now where we look at the effectiveness of our sessions. That includes data collection, literature review, preparation of manuscripts, but also like, studies that the section wants to lead. It also is important to mention that we are in the process of building a research and mentorship academy, and there will be opportunities to contribute to that as a project, as a research coordinator under Sarah's leadership, and that is another opportunity for you to apply. Next slide, please. We also have Catherine's work. Catherine is the committee member in charge of the newsletter and the social media activities, the publication activities. There will be opportunities to work with Catherine on the newsletter, right? On collecting stories, editing stories, formatting stories, really making sure, once again, that we have a diverse representation of content from across our membership and across the countries. And one very important aspect of Catherine's work docket is actually the work of the social media team that has been doing an outstanding job in promoting our section activities. And while it is under Catherine's docket, I do really want to highlight the work of Dr. Hand and her team that is really the one in charge of the social media activities. We can go to the next slide, please. And has been pretty much, very much working with the board on the social media activities. And that is one example, right, of like an ECP like Hand, who's taking a leadership role, again, technically under the guidance of the board and the committee, but really the team is doing such a fantastic job that oftentimes we just have to stay there in awe and like admire their work, and while they are promoting our activities on the social media accounts. I do want to hand it over to Dr. Hand for a few slides to tell us a little bit more about her team, her leadership, and the activities.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for the nice introduction, Dr. Rick Walcherson. I'm going to briefly present who we are. So we are a team of 9 early career psychiatrists from 8 countries, and we are working together to build an online community and contribute to the online ECP community. And I want to take a moment to thank all our team members for doing such a wonderful job. It's really a team effort. Now, where can you find us? Next slide, please. We are currently active on 3 platforms mainly. So we have our Facebook page, we have our LinkedIn account, and finally our Instagram account. You can scan here if you're not already following us. And so what do we do? Basically, we have a variety of content and posts. We share updates from the section, such as announcements for events, calls for applications. We have monthly selections of opportunities, such as grants, fellowships, courses that could interest you, and we publish these each month. We also have short videos that offer advice and how-to skills. Our most recent one, which you guys really liked, was how to prepare an international CV, something that maybe you don't get taught, but something you will need in your career. We have a Dear ECP interview series where we interview senior psychiatrists and leaders in the field and ask them questions that maybe ECPs are curious about. We have Psychiatry Through Art. This is a series where we kind of merge between art in all its forms, like music, poetry, and so forth, and mental health and psychiatry. And finally, we do also think it's important that we spread mental health awareness and advocacy. So from time to time, you see some posts on important subjects. Our most recent one was on Autism Awareness Day. Yes, next slide, please. Okay, how can you get involved? We are currently preparing various new formats of contacts and social media projects. The first one I'm going to mention is the ECP Spotlight. We want to help highlight your achievements and connect you with ECPs with similar interests. You can scan the QR code here if you would like to be featured on our page. Basically, we will highlight your interests, your achievements, your aspirations, and which ECPs would you like to connect with, so we can build more collaborations. The next one is the ECP Research Pick. We know that it's a huge milestone for an early career psychiatrist to publish a paper, and we want to support that. So we will be highlighting your papers, one paper from an early career psychiatrist each month, giving them the chance to present their paper and to maybe get more views and get people more curious about your research. There's also a QR code here if you would like to apply. I would only just mention that we are looking for meaningful contributions from ECP, so whether you're a first or, for example, last author, and preferably recent papers, so less than 3 years. Next slide. And our third project is a day in the life of a psychiatrist. We all work in very different environments, and we are curious to know what our colleagues are doing and what does psychiatry look like in their countries. So our video social media project will have ECPs take us through a day of a life in their work. So from mornings, what do they do during the day and afternoon, and share more about what it's like to be an ECP in their country. Our first video will be in New Delhi, India, and we are very excited. We will be posting it next month. So if you like any of these projects and would like to contribute, please feel free to contact us on our social media channels or to email me directly. We would be happy to give you more details on these projects. And if you are interested to join our social media team and have a bit of maybe editing skills or visual design skills, you can also email me. And yeah, thank you very much.
Perfect.
Thank you, Hind.
Thank you so much, Hind. And I will just speed through the rest of the slides because you want to really leave some time for questions and discussion. We will have opportunities for people, ACPs, to work under Tejil and Svetter, and that will be including to collaborate in terms of the conference preparation and the conference and event coordination. Next slide, please. Then there will be opportunities to work with the secretary on membership, everything related to membership, admission of new members, shifting around members from specific, as I said before, special members to current members, or from current members to alumni. And for the recruitment of new members, there will be opportunities for ECPs to work with the secretary. Next slide, please. And that one we can skip for now. You will see all these. I'm just speeding through here a little bit just because you want to leave room and time for questions, but we will send out an email with all these details and ways you can apply. One last thing I want to highlight here, there will be, as I said before, an alumni and mentorship program coordinator that works with all of us, because again, we do see there's a central role of alumni and in the way they support the section still. Next slide, please. And there will be also working groups and task force, like ad hoc, on specific topics that will work closely with the ECP section members and potentially, external partners, and they will be there temporarily to resolve certain tasks and problems. Next slide, please. So as a summary, and you can click one more, Alex, please. As a summary, just to give you, again, a sense of, we talked about a lot of different positions, right? But just to visualize where we are. So there's the WPA Executive Committee, right? Which is the president-elect and the president and the secretary for the sections and the education secretary and the secretary for finance. And under the executive committees, we have these 66 sections of the WPA, and the ECP section is one. And then the ECP section officers, Lamia, Alex, and myself, we are leading this section, but then we have in total like 8 section committee members. So this is the ECP section committee, and each committee members will work with ECPs that will be appointed to these new positions. You can see appointed positions on the slide, and then we have the general membership, right? And so for all these newly appointed positions, more information to come, so that you can look out for more information and also see how to apply. Next slide, please. And I think that's it. Like, let's just like leave it here for now, and I will hand over to Lamia for the discussion and the reflection section.
Yeah. So thank you, Alex. Thank you, Rick and Hind, for the presentation. I would emphasize that we have really outstanding members in the committee and that we are all trying hard to offer our members as many opportunities as we can. And following on that, I would like also to emphasize that we are really open to any ideas for future projects and for having other project coordinators stepping in and, suggesting ideas for starting any other initiative they think would be beneficial for this section. So thank you everyone for your attention. Now we would really like to open the discussion for questions, because this section is not ours, it belongs also to you. So either you can write on the chat or you can also just jump in and ask a question. And we have Sud. Yes, please come in.
So are you referring me?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know how the video. So sorry, the video. 1 second. Okay. Thank you so much. Such a wonderful discussion. I think the team is very vibrant and energetic, and it's a pleasure to be here, honestly speaking. So I don't have the assumption that I need to contribute to this group and the community and the impact that we have in the bigger picture. So question I have is, do you have like regular meeting so that we can schedule our activities? Like, do you have like a monthly meeting, or I don't know, do you have like such time frame for meeting and discussion, so that we need to be aware of like our schedule? And then with the Zoom link or the Google Map, the Google link that we have, sometimes I see some confusions like regarding the time zones. For me, like today, even I was like inadvertently noticed it. I was like, I forget, because there are communications that are seemingly redundant. I'm sorry to say that, just for us to be aware of that, and then which may affect our our filtering mechanism from because we have other communications from other platforms too. So sometimes those kind of communication could be distorted in a way that we may miss those schedules, important schedules. So with that, we need to have like a clear time zone lines and schedules and the expectations, so that we'll have a very coordinated kind of action. That's the comment. Other than that, it's a very organized the strategic plan and the performance that so you presented us last time even, and the future and the different activities and how it's organized. It's really fabulous.
Thank you very much. So regarding the meetings, our action plan actually stipulates 2 meetings per year. We have one that is online, like this one that we planned now, and another one which will be during the WCP in Stockholm. So 2 per year. But however, if like members feel they need to have more meetings like this, we would be happy to implement regular ones, like every 3 or 2 months. For the notification, the redundancy, maybe you could explain more, but I will let my colleagues Rick and Alex answer on this. But it's true that we send always reminders about events and opportunities, and that might sometimes spam your inbox. The thing is that since you said you are busy and you have so many other activities. We are really trying hard for you to remember these opportunities, so you don't let this, you don't miss them actually. But
Yeah,
also I would be happy with my friends.
yeah. So to clarify, I'm not busier than anybody. I didn't say I'm busy in particular. To be, I mean, to clarify, I'm not. What I'm saying is, I mean, even it's not something that's really outstanding. Honestly speaking, it's something that we need to improve. It just frame. You can't take it in such a way that it's the only thing I can mention is like the schedule. Seems for me. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure if it's the same for everybody. I see the schedules and the time zones and some of the communication, the email communications seems a little bit how can I frame it? That's the area of improvement generally. I don't know how others perceived it. That's something that for me need to improve to some degree. It's not a problem, like it's not problematic, but that's area of improvement. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah,
Very much.
I know what you mean, and particularly around the first town hall meeting, there was some confusion about the time zones and how we send it out. And also to just give you a little bit of background, we actually did receive emails as well for people advocating why wasn't my country in this list, and we always like balance different things, like sending out too many emails, sending out too little emails. Your point is really well taken, and we definitely will streamline the announcements. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So if we don't have someone raising his hand or her hand, we have questions in the chat. Just going back. So we have Emira, who is saying that she would like to contribute to research activity in the ECP section. How to apply, please? Thank you very much, Emira, for your interest. So for now, we don't really have a clear research activity going on, but like what mentioned Alex or Rick, we are planning to start what we call a research and mentorship academy. The project is still in the planning phase, and we're really hoping to launch it as soon as we can. And when this will start, everyone interested could join and apply. We have Victor.
Just to point out another opportunity, we sometimes do send out opportunities for ECPs to become national coordinators for their respective countries. So someone, for example, does a study on ECT and perception amongst trainees, and they want to do it across different countries. So they would approach us and say, hey, can you send out this survey like across your network? And we also look for people in, like, I don't know, Turkey, to specifically recruit people from Turkey. And then an ECP from Turkey can say, hey, I'm in Turkey, I can help. And they also get authorship. So look out for these opportunities. Every now and then we send these out. So that's another way of getting involved.
Thank you, Rick. Victor, please go ahead.
Oh, thank you very much. No, I just wanted to congratulate all of you for this amazing work. I was telling Rick, sometimes like it feels there's a lot going on, like a lot of emails, a lot of social media, but Andy's doing amazing work. And every time I open LinkedIn or Instagram, I see her, and that's great because I mean, it's very natural that being thousands of early career psychiatrists potentially all over the world is natural that we can see each other. So even if sometimes it feels a bit overwhelming, but it's great that there's a lot going on and that one can choose whatever to pay attention to or whatever can be involved in. And I mean, so I say I'm going to repeat residency. We are expecting our second child, so I'm gonna be very busy, but I'll be happy to collaborate, especially here with Rick, to try to involve more US trainees and early careers. It's always a challenge, but we'll do what we can. And the earliest career psychiatrist will say hi to you. But yeah, congratulations, especially like following, being part of the section for many years. And in the past, I mean, the previous team laid the foundational work, but you have already like bring this to a next level. So thank you. Say bye, Rex.
Congratulations, Victor, for the second child coming. And I would also encourage people to join your fabulous network that you established many years ago. I think we are just following your steps in the great work that you have already been doing for years. And let me also introduce you the youngest early career psychiatrist here.
So we are
Just
competing.
join.
In November, I'll have the youngest again.
This is the third.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take notice that there will be a new category on social media, the introduction of the youngest early career psychiatrist. There's competition.
New category. So we have a question from Selamat. Just a second. I'm just going backward again. Yeah. So Selam is interested in joining research coordinator and publication section, and he's suggesting to have a travel grant. Grants for exchange programs for future. Yeah, I mean, Rick, you would be the best person to answer this as you are already a local host for the exchange program.
Yeah. Some programs can actually support you with subsidized housing, or like even Croatia has free housing opportunities. It is a big challenge that we are currently thinking through how to solve, because in the US, for example, we were in the process of applying for funding, and then I think geopolitical changes prevented us for applying for that sort of funding in the current context. We are thinking through this really creatively. We currently don't have a good solution to support travel stipends. The WPA is not an organization with an abundance of money, because they are getting sponsored by the national psychiatric organizations, but there is no such funding for these activities. But we are thinking through this, and if you have ideas of how best, please let us know. Or if you run into someone that has a philanthropic heart and has some money left for the ECP section, we are able to accept donations as well.
Thank you, Rick. And as for your interest in joining research, I would highly encourage you, once the applications are open, to apply for that position. Ratu is asking about if there are any specific qualification to become social media team, and is WhatsApp community open for new members? Hen, would you like to answer, Ratu?
Yes, I try to answer by writing. So no, we don't have specific qualifications. However, there is maybe affinities to certain projects or certain tasks related to our social media work. So please feel free to email me, and I'm happy to discuss this more with you.
Thank you very much, Hen. So yes, the WhatsApp community is absolutely open for any new members. And if you have ever received an email from the ECP section official email, you will find the link to get into all our social media groups and channels. Maybe someone can here paste them in the chat as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, who? Yeah.
No, it was me. I was just like, Alex, and can you just briefly say a word about, like, for people, our members, to understand how the WhatsApp group is built, and like, can they just share content, or do they have to send it to us? That I think would be helpful.
Yeah, thanks, Rick. Actually, what we have is a WhatsApp community, which is a group of groups. So we have a general conversational one, and we have a regional one for each of our regions, the 8 regions. So if you have some local event, or you are trying to reach for your regional ECPs, you can send directly to your region. Otherwise, you can send to the general group. But the idea is to collaborate, and there's no need to be filtered. Of course, we are moderating the groups, and there are rules regarding respect and inclusivity, but all content is welcome. You can share everything you want there. And also, we presented many new positions today, and we are going to start opening for whoever wants to apply in the next week. So you getting a lot of message to us, so please stay tuned.
Thank you, Alex. So Nika is asking again about this potential opportunity for international research collaboration among ECPs and how to get involved in wider and inclusive studies. So Nika, again, every opportunity that will be out there, we will share it on our mailing list. So stay tuned and watch out for these emails. And once we will reach this, again, ARIME Research and Mentorship Academy, the people that would be involved would have opportunities to do research and connect together. And of course, if you have an idea for research and you would like to share it with people from our mailing list and invite people to, contribute, you're free to do it. Okay, so Farshid is also expressing his motivation to do many roles. This is really wonderful to see all this motivation coming from our members. And I think we have one more person. Hadid, would you like to say your comment, please?
Yes, hi, I'm Hadid. I'm a fifth-year medical student from Croatia who's interested in psychiatry. I just wanted to commend you guys on doing such a great job. I had a meeting with Hend, I think a month ago, about some ideas I had. And yeah, I just want to say it's really nice to see such well-organized and approachable people. And the work you're doing is really good. Particularly one of the things Hend mentioned in her presentation about involving allies, so non-psychiatric or non people that aren't necessarily in this field. And I have a particular interest in more mental health education and advocacy as opposed to necessarily mental illness. And yeah, one of the things that me and Hend were discussing were involving maybe people in the World Psychiatry Congress that maybe have a bit of a public profile and talk to lay audiences about mental health issues. And I'm due to send her an email, so if Hen's listening, apologies for the delay in getting back to you. Medical school has been keeping me busy with exams. But yeah, I just wanted to give some positive feedback that I think you guys are doing a great job, especially Hen is really available to reach out to and ask for suggestions and advice.
Thank you, Hadid. It's really nice to hear about your experience and feedback. And yes, Hind is doing amazing jobs, and Hind is one of the examples of someone who had ideas, great idea, and came to us and started the whole social media work. So big applause to Hind. Rika, please come in and ask your question.
Yeah, so hi everyone. This is Dr. Rika Rizal and I'm from Nepal. So this is the first time that I'm attending the meeting, and it was quite insightful to hear about all the ideas from ECP all around the world. And since I come from a resource limited setting, so we are lacking quite a lot of research opportunities out here. So being in this community, I hope to contribute to the research in my country, and I look forward to it as well. And similarly, I've applied for the exchange program and WPA exchange program. So I hope that it'll be a learning opportunity from all of you. So yeah, I had no specific question, but I just wanted to say hi and thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Rika, for your testimony.
And thank you, Rika. I'm very excited to welcome you in Boston. Actually, Rika is coming to McLean.
Yeah, I look forward to meeting you as well. Thank you, Rick.
Great. So I think we don't. Rika, do you have another question? Your hand is still raised.
No, that's fine. I'll just lower it. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Also, I think it's part to acknowledge that we're happy that many of our committee members joined us. Also, Catherine is here with us today. Would you like to say a word, Catherine? Also, Shweta. Yes, sorry to just calling you like that.
Okay, I'll go first. Hi, everyone. It's great to see you all in person, if we can call it online. And I think we had a good response. So I think it's good to put faces to names sometimes, because we just get these emails. So it's good for all the ECPs to see each other. So this is a great opportunity. And please, guys, start submitting for the ECP Congress for next year. The application links are available.
That means for host institutions, we're looking for a country that has national ECPs association, or it's ECPs inside the national association, or some country that can host and have the ECP Congress next year in 2027.
Yeah, if you have any questions about it, please feel free to email me directly.
Thanks, Rita and Catherine. Would you like to say a word? Is she still here?
I think Catherine just said that it's 2 a.m. in Australia, and apologies for the camera and the microphone off, but we really appreciate you joining us at this early morning hours or late night hours, depending on how you want to see it. And on a Saturday, so thank you. That shows the commitment to the section.
True.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So if we have no more question, I would be happy to close this meeting, and I would wish you a happy holiday and enjoy your weekend. And no, Farshid will have another question, so I will report.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't worry.
Yes, just a brief question. So I didn't get the last comment. Was it like, so we do have an ECP Congress also, like separate ECP Congress?
Yes. So in 2027, we are supposed to we're going to hold the next ECP Congress. So the emails have gone out for you to submit your application. So it can be from from the ECP section in your country. You can apply, and then there's a bit of criterias, and then once we'll evaluate the submissions and then decide.
Okay.
If you have any questions, yes, go ahead. Sorry. No,
just
go ahead.
we recorded this, so for the ones who join us at the end, it will be available soon on YouTube. We'll send the links in our mailing list.
Great. So for real now, enjoy your weekend, rest well, and hope to connect with you again in other opportunities. And I hope to see many of you in Stockholm this year. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, everyone, for joining. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.